At approximately 3:37 EST this morning, something the size of an Airbus Atlas passed through the Great Lakes waterway. It must have come in from the Atlantic, navigated its way through the natural channels and man-made locks that make up the St. Lawrence Seaway. I was working up top when I first heard about it. It was Billings, the poor bugger. At first, I thought he was messing with me, getting me back for the prank I pulled a month or so ago. But when he finally clicked off the radio and stomped up and over to where I was sitting so he could talk to me face to face, I realized he wasn't messing with me at all. He looked scared, terrified even. This wasn't normal for Bill. "So," I said, leaning back in my chair and grinning, "you saw a thing?" He nodded, his face earnest. "And what exactly is this thing?" "It was big," he said, waving his arms around wildly. "Too big, like the size of a damn plane." "A plane?" "A cargo plane, one of those ones that the military uses." "That makes no sense," I said. "It wouldn't fit." "That's what she said," Billings said pitifully, letting out one sharp bark of nervous laughter. It rang flat around the room we were in. I sighed, then said, "All right, let's go check." "Really?" he said. He sounded semi-hopeful, but still scared. "Really, come on." He watched as I stood up and stretched, then followed me over to the room where we kept the radar and CCTV monitors. "So," I said, "where do you see it?" "Just as it appeared in the lock, about 5 minutes ago." "All right, let's see." I sat down in front of the monitors, rewound the tape, and pressed play. "Bill," I said, turning back in my seat to look at his face. "There's nothing here." "Nothing?" "Nothing. Take a look for yourself." Bill maneuvered around me, then whined in fear. "It's there, man," he said. "Right there. What the hell even is that?" "Where?" I asked. "I don't see anything. Are you messing with me? I have to say, this is one of your weaker efforts, Billings." I ran a hand through my unkempt hair. "Look, I have to get back to work." But Bill didn't let up. He leaned around me, rewound the tape again and pressed play, then repeated the process 2 more times. "Bill," I said, "come on, stop." "Look, it's right there. Can't you see it? It just bloody appears, man, out of nowhere." I blew some air out of my nose, looking at him with a sort of sympathy. Maybe the guy was working too hard. Maybe he was starting to snap. "Okay," I said, "I'll humor you." I swiveled back around in my chair and leaned in closer to the screen. And there, just there, right underneath the water's surface, I saw it. A glimmer. It was faint, nearly invisible, but there it was. There was something about it, how it caught the barely visible light, how the water moved around it, something strange and sinister. "Weird," I said. Billings perked up. "You see it?" "I mean, could be a school of fish, caught up in the lock or something." "Man," Bill said, "I've been working here for 9 years, and I ain't never seen anything like that before." "Huh," I said, then rolled myself over to the second set of monitors where the radar was. "Well, damn." "What?" Bill quickly hobbled over to where I was and looked down. "What the hell?" "Yeah, well, that's weird." The radar showed something big, just like Bill said. It was slowly inching down the waterway, morphing to fit through it. I switched to real time and saw this thing, whatever it was, was nearly out of the second lock, which was bizarre because we hadn't lowered the water or the gate. It was just disappearing, slowly but surely. I stood up, fast, then made my way back towards the monitor's room's only doorway. "Hey, where are you going?" Bill called out. "Angers," I said. "I'm going to go check with Angers. Over on the other side. My radio's upstairs. Hang tight." I left Bill standing there, watching me walk away with a freaked out expression on his face, and made my way back up top. My radio was on the table where I'd left it, sitting next to my phone. I picked it up and pinged Angers. Angers picked up immediately. "Yeah?" he said. He sounded worried. "Hey Angers, we're getting some real weird footage over here. I was wondering if you..." "It's nothing," Angers said, his voice coming in staticky over the radio. "What?" I said, "No, everything looks fine over here." "You sure, man? You looking at your radar?" "Yeah, kid, I'm sure. It's nothing. And if anyone asks you about it, you didn't see anything." "Wait," I said. "What do you mean if anyone asks me about it?" Angers didn't respond. "Hey Angers, what did you mean if anyone asks me about it?" But Angers had turned his radio off. I set my radio back down and said, "Damn." I left the room and walked back down to where the radar and CCTV monitors were. "Hey Bill, you're never going to believe this. I think we might have a regular conspiracy." I stopped and looked around. "Bill?" I turned back towards the door I'd just entered. "Hey, Billings, where are you, buddy? Bill?" Bill didn't answer. "What the hell?" I mumbled to myself, then left the monitor room to look for Bill. But Bill wasn't anywhere in the building, which meant there was only one place he could be. Outside. "Oh, for goodness sake," I said, then ran back upstairs to grab my coat. Billings was standing just at the edge of the lock, looking down. Above us, clouds skirted across the sky, obscuring stars every now and then. "Bill? Bill? Hey Bill, what the hell are you doing, man?" Bill turned to me and pointed. "It's still here," he yelled. "What? Really?" He nodded, then turned back around and looked back down. "Bill, come on, man. We should call this in. Angus said he didn't see anything, but then he said something weird, man. And I don't know." My voice trailed off as I stood there, watching Bill from a distance of a dozen feet or so. "Bill?" Without warning, Bill jumped. It took me a second to realize what had happened. A stream of several, "Oh God," swept out of my mouth as I ran forward to the edge of the lock. But Billings had disappeared. There wasn't even a ripple showing where he hit the water. I shoved my hands into all my pockets before I realized I left both my phone and radio back inside on the second floor of the building. "Damn it," I yelled, then sprinted back inside for my phone. It rang twice before a voice said, "We're sorry, the number you have dialed..." "Are you kidding me right now?" It was a staticky growl and I picked up the radio. Angers, it's Bill. He jumped into the damn lock, man. He's going to freeze to death or drown. Angers, come on, man. If you can hear this, call 911. My phone isn't working." The static grew louder, higher in pitch. Then I heard Angers say, Yeah, I hear you. Don't worry, they're already on the way." "Oh, thank God," I said. "Thanks, But Angers cut me off. "Don't tell them anything, okay? This isn't the first time. Billings was suicidal, okay? You're a good kid. I don't want you to..." The radio cut dead. 30 minutes later, a fire truck, followed by a sleek black SUV, pulled up. The firemen fished Billings out of the water, while two suits surveyed the area. One of them with salt and pepper grey hair, and Mean Eyes stepped over to me and said, "Sir, we'd like to ask you a few questions." "He jumped, man. I didn't do anything." "Yes," the other man, bald with a beard, said. "I'm sure we'll be able to see." He gestured toward the CCTV camera that was hanging off the building. "Sir, did you see anything strange tonight?" I hesitated for a split second. "You mean stranger than my co-worker jumping to his death?" Neither of the men's poker faces fell. "Yes," the graying one said. No, I didn't. Do you mind if we take a look inside? Maybe view the footage from the lock?" "What's that got to do with Billings drowning?" "We can get a warrant if necessary." "I mean, I just work here. You should call the boss and ask him. Look, I'm cold as hell. My co-worker I've known for 3 years just died. Can I go home now? Maybe answer your questions later today." The two men seemed to think about this. "Fine," the bald one said, then reached forward and handed me an off-white business card. "Thanks, man." "Wait," one of the men called out from behind me. I turned. "You said your co-worker jumped? Was he suicidal by any chance?" I said. I mean, he joked about it sometimes, but I never really thought he'd do something like... I never thought he'd actually do anything, you know." The man stared at me with an unreadable expression, then said, "All right, we'll talk to you soon." I left the area with no problem. I didn't really want to see Billings like that. I drove, went to bed, then woke up hours later and recorded this, just in case. I don't know what the hell happened, or what Billings saw down there. I realize now that those two suits probably confiscated all the tapes on the premises. But the strangest thing is, I can't get in touch with Angers, and I don't know what to do.